Hello, Vidoding University, training humans to train themselves. And today I want to talk about identity and becoming the person you want to become. Now, today, of course, we're trying to train ourselves to become Vicoders, speed readers at 2,000 words a minute. So, one of the things we want to do is to look at that identity just a little bit and how it comes about, the process, shall we say. Okay, let's say a person wants to become a doctor. Okay, the doctor, oh man, there's money, there's recognition, there's, all sorts of, things that go along with it are so great, right? Okay, well, one of the things that we're going to be talking about here, I mean, that's good. Well, let's first do the study. I got to first share the study with you. Okay, so here are these children, and they love to draw. They love to draw. So they, if you put crayons or pencils and paper and crayons out in the room, they sit there and they draw color or whatever they do. They love to do that. Then, as soon as you get a couple of parents or teachers coming along going, oh, you're drawing so wonderful, you're a little artist and stuff like that, now they're starting to be recognized for their drawings and acknowledged for the drawings. And then if you keep watching, they did in this study, they saw that people that were acknowledged for the drawing, as opposed that they started mainly drawing when that person was around them. Okay. In other words, they didn't just come in and draw by themselves now because they wanted to. They came in and drew and colored because someone was there to watch them and notice how good they were and things of that nature. These are the external rewards, remember? We talk about the internal rewards and the external rewards. So I want you to really understand that one of the things that we talked about just previously was the levels and how we wanted to work with getting into each of those levels and developing those internal drives, right? We have three ways, right, to do it, right? If you like it already, perfect. If you don't like it, right, it's really tough. You do what the weightlifters do. You go, oh man, they have this thing called the burn, and they know that if they push themselves into pain and struggle, that the next thing you know, they're going to build some muscles. So they shoot for the burn. They actually push for it. They put, there it is. Oh, it's so painful, and they just love it. Okay, they push for it in each set of their stuff. They go for it, and they develop muscle. So that's one. If you like it, it's good. Now, if you don't like it, you know what to do as well. Okay, like so when it gets really hard, here mentally hard. I'm developing mental brain power. Go for it. Okay, but there's the other. We talked about the blah nothing. Remember, we got to go into those little things and find the little things. Where like mom finds just the right amount of chocolate chip cookie. Oh, there it is. Or just the right amount of flour, or just the right amount of butter, whatever those chocolate chip cookies, and bakes them just to the right level. Doesn't overbake them just so they're still chewy or whatever, however you like your cookies. So the key is those internal drives are real important that we want to really get connected to and learn how to work with. I mean, if you think about the doctor, I mean, if the doctor wanting money and stuff like that, it's great, but you want your doctor also to be really excited about figuring out and understanding how the human body works, and oh man, and all the ways it could go wrong and could go right, and how do you fix it if it doesn't, and get excited about the surgery, the medication, how they interact, how they don't, what be careful. You want him excited about those, really getting into it. Man, this is so, I love finding out about this stuff. That's the doctor you want, because he is going to become a great doctor, and he is going to become famous, and that's going to happen because he developed those internal drives. So one of the things as far as developing yourself is learning to develop those internal drives for the things, the skills, and the processes that go along with each of the steps that need to go. And we just talked about, nothing happens all at once. It's just like, if a basketball player, myself as a basketball player, I first learned to dribble a little bit standing still with the right hand, maybe, okay, or my dominant hand. And then I try to walk a little bit, and then I try to walk and back. Then I maybe try to shift to my left hand a little bit, back to my right, and back and forth. Then I learned to sort of run a little bit. Then I learned to run and maybe look around a little bit. And then I learned to look around and maybe you actually figure out the play and pass and be. You got the idea. It's a process, and each step level you want to go, wow, I did it. Yeah, I'm excited about this. Oh, look, I do this. And those are the ways that you've got to develop that person that you're becoming if you're becoming a basketball player. Or, you think about, the babies, they go from crawling to standing to, bouncing up and down, then finally taking a little daring step and rush from one place, and then they pretty soon controlled walk, then running, and it's like the whole point is that if you look at a baby, every step of the way is so exciting to oh yeah, because it's all brand new or whatever. I don't know, for whatever reason. No, but let me actually go back to another. I just heard this song, "Fools Fall in Love." And it's such a great song because it really tells you, because you see these people that fall in love with these people, and sometimes these people are just no good. Okay, I mean, they don't see that they're ugly, or they don't see that there's no potential in them. They don't see that they have bad friends. They don't see that they all are mean to you or whatever. And it's like you don't see it because you're in love. Okay, well, those internal drives, but us on the outside see all those external drives: no money, no future, etc. Bad, treating you mean, those are the external drives. So remember, the internal drives are so powerful in creating that identity, becoming that person you want to become. There's always this saying that says it's more important who you become than what you get on a job or in anything you do, really. Okay, so if you're going to a party, or you're going to the beach, or you're going to work, it doesn't matter. It's who are you becoming by doing this, and what are those internal drives that you're developing, and how are you developing those internal drives that go with it. Now, I'm hoping you're starting to get a little bit, is that what we're trying to get you the idea is that we're doing this training, and during this training we're doing what a lot of people, well, first of all, like if a person was a doctor, he's choosing a doctor because, hey, there's money in it, there's recognition. I'm no fool, right? But the key is that if the person that, you can like those things, and those can be important for you, but you also have to learn how to develop those internal drives and skills to do the things that you need to do to get there. It's just like the person that goes on the diet. Oh, I hate this diet. I hate running. I hate exercise. I hate all the process getting there. But I'm forcing myself to do it so I can get thin. Well, no wonder as soon as they let go, they gain all their weight back, and do it because they haven't learned how to develop those internal drives that will allow them to self-maintain themselves. Remember, once you get those internal drives going, right, consciously, right, you work on them, the next thing you know is your subconscious picks them up and takes them over, and that becomes part of who you are. You become who you train your subconscious to be. Remember, we're our automatic. We are our subconscious, and our subconscious is going to pick up those things that those internal drives, those internal excitements that we create, and we need to learn how to create those. So for these drills, as we're doing, let's just go through it a little bit what we've been talking about here so far. You started out and you've looked at some lines, and you go, oh, great lines. no lines, I can see a whole line of letters at once. Okay, and then you start to see, I can see 2 or 3 lines. Oh, this is cool. And then you start saying, oh man, I can connect these all lines mentally in my mind, and I can, yes, we think with our minds, right? So we can stretch that all and connect that whole 3 or 4 lines all out in one huge long line, and see how where every place goes, and then we start saying, okay, and then I can see the words in here, and I can start to see sentences, and oh man, sentences, man, and the sentences is 3 lines long, and I can see it all connect. I can see, and I can start to imagine we in the flip books we imagine, oh man, in what, and you go, carried what, and you're all excited, you see those words, and your mind's going, and have these questions just pop in your mind, and you're excited, and oh man, I can't wait to figure out, what this connects to this and what's connected. And now when you do your structural books, you're pretending as you see these fake words that this thing is going together. You see a complete thought, a sentence. You go, oh man, that's a thought. That's a sentence. You feel what a sentence how it comes together in words that you practice in flip books. And then you see a couple of sentences, and you see, wow, I can see 3 sentences. And then you see paragraphs. A paragraph is a thought of a thought, like a bunch of thoughts put together to a big thought, whatever. And you can see, then you start to see, I can see 2 paragraphs at once. Well, you got this progression of thoughts. You're like, all right. I'm trying to get you feeling that you've got to start getting excited about these trainings, because here you're doing it, and if you don't get it, oh, I gotta do one of this. You're in the dieter mode. You're Vicoding. You're gonna forget this as you get. And you go into it. All I can tell you, there's you want to think of yourself as we're developing your training machine as well, and you got this machine revs up, and you want to get to the most powerful RPMs where it's really revved up and going, and that's where you want to think about, is it you're really got this internal drives going. Okay, the more you're excited about it, I mean, there's there's the saying, what is it, time flies when you're having fun. Well, training happens when your internal drives are really rewarding you, when you're having fun, so to speak. So training, you need to be, wow, the challenge. I mean, challenge is good too. Pride is good. All those different internal, what you did, and getting to the different things of that nature. So remember, we become who we train our subconscious to become, because we're automatic. So you really got to get into training those internal drives. Those external drives disappear, and next thing you know, you can't force yourself to do it anymore. So what do we want to look here real quick? We covered all that. So again, the key thing is get into each level, develop those internal drives at those levels, and yes, those big external drives of being able to earn money or read 2,000 words and impress your friends or whatever. Those things will come, but you've got to first enjoy the process getting there. So like a baby, enjoy all the process. Like me learning black clay basketball, I loved every step of the way. It was so much fun. And anyway, there you go. So learn how to train yourself. We're starting the 3rd week. Go for it. Learn how to train yourself to Vicode, but also learn how to train yourself to train yourself as well. Vicoding University, training humans to train themselves.